Hello. Today's workout will be demonstrating different levels of or modifications of ab work. So here's some sit-ups. I wanted to show the different modifications for future reference so that you have some tools, some different approaches if you're not able to do all of the movements that I'm showing. Here's the second progression where you are touching your heels, trying to get that balance. You can see my back is rounded. Yours shouldn't do that. It should be as vertical as possible. Those are heel touches. The next progression would be a V-up. And with this, you're really aiming to make a V with your body and have your hands reach a target. I often aim for the top of my laces, the top of my feet, if I don't have any shoes on. Next is another kind of progression where you are aiming more for your shins and your legs are a little bit at a less of a angle. This kind of hits a different part lower abs, and it is something that I will often combine with leg touches like this, or toe touches, one at a time. I recently hurt my hip, and so I'm really in this workout working on using both legs independently. And now for the push-up progression. Here is a knee push-up, and this is probably the third most difficult of the push-up variation. Push-ups for me are my favorite workout. It's what got me into working out. You can also do a hand release knee push-up, and this is, as you can see, tough still. Here's a full hand release push-up. With this, you can tell that a lot of the movement actually is coming also from my legs and butt being engaged. And here is full push-ups. What I like to do sometimes is kind of shift to the front. You can see my elbows are close to my body and going back. And this is really, for me, such a great full body, can do anywhere type of push-up. And like I said, it's doing, 10 sets of 10 to get 100 is really what got me inspired into working out. Now, just a bit of stretching. Again, like I said, I hurt my hips, so really working on different movements to isolate the independent movement of the legs. Here's some lunges. I wanted to just emphasize that when you do the lunges, you're like railroad. So you're not going one foot in front of the other, you're stepping out. And what this is going to do is give you a greater balance and more mobility and more range of motion with your legs. For this warm-up, I grabbed a kettlebell. You don't need a kettlebell, but with this, you're kicking one leg back. And what this is doing is it's meant to engage your butt, it's meant to engage your legs, and really also work on that balance. And your core should be also engaged. You can always hold on to something while you do this. Again, a weight is not necessary, but this helps with the mind-body engagement to use your limbs separately. Next, with the kettlebell, I wanted to show a progression of kettlebell swings. So the kettlebell swing, as you can see, it's going between my legs and going about to my chest. That is a regular Russian kettlebell swing, it's called. Then American, as you can see, I'm trying to get into the proper position so you can see. American goes above your head. And sometimes what I'll do is use a lighter weight and do the American, You can also see my head is kind of poking through so that you have this nice, going through the window, nice incline or nice vertical. Next, I just wanted to show you some stretches that I like to do, and sometimes I'll just kind of hold. And this also, I'm really working on making sure my feet are engaged, my toes are kind of gripping the floor, and that my back is nice and vertical, not rounded. So those are the kind of stretches, and also isolating kind of movements, strength training that I'll do to make sure that my whole body is engaged, my whole body is warmed up, but also provides kind of a nice stretch for this workout. Then here are some good morning kind of modification. With this, it's about getting your back engaged in the back of your legs. This is an attempt. As you can see, my balance is not very great. That's something I really am trying to work on. And recognizing that balance, I can see right here from my feet. My feet is not engaging. I'm not creating a steady foundation from which the rest of the movement can transpire. So this is, training for me as well. Try to get that balance. Being able to watch myself back, being able to then record this audio demonstrating verbally what I'm trying to do is really helpful for my own practice, my own training. This is more just fun. I think I recognize that my feet, again, were not providing that foundation, so this is just some movements to kind of activate that. Next, for the workout, I wanted to provide the other modifications. You can do, this is called a clean, and you can do the clean with a dumbbell. The goal is to use your shoulder and your legs to kind of bring the dumbbell to your shoulder. And for the workout, we're going to do 3 of these. I do it with a barbell, and then 2 jerk, where you are dipping and pushing it above your head. You can drop under it if it's heavy, or you can just push press above. I wanted to also show what this would look like with a kettlebell. So with the kettlebell, you want to make sure that your thumb is pointed away from you or towards behind you, and you'll do 3 to your shoulder and then 2 up above. Same kind of thing. My thumb is going to turn towards me, and I'm going to dip and shrug it to my shoulder. That's called a clean, and then 2 above my head. For this workout, I will also be doing some leg lifts and some Bulgarian split squats. Here's another angle just to really practice that modification of the clean. This one's a little bit of a heavier weight, so you can see I'm using my legs just as much as I'm using other parts of my body. Dipping underneath is what you want to do once the weight gets a little bit heavier. And for that, you're going to, for this jerk, that's where you go above your head, I'm going to dip and then push and keep that dip as I push it up above your head. So for this workout, I used a barbell and I did 10 sets, increasing by 2 kilos every round. I started off with 25 kilos. When I did CrossFit, I did everything in pounds. Well, when I first did CrossFit in Vienna, I did everything in kilos, did in pounds, and back to kilos again. So here are my 3 cleans to my shoulders, and then 2 jerks up ahead. Oops, I forgot to keep it to my shoulders. 2 above. If you're doing it with a dumbbell, you want to do 3 on each side, and 2 jerks above your head. And that's the workout. After you do the jerks, 5, or the clean and jerk, 5 in total, you're going to, or this is what I did, I really wanted to practice again balance, and even as I'm watching myself back for the first time, I can see that I'm turning. I'm going perhaps a little bit too fast, and I lose my balance again. So you'll do 5 on each side, and then I'll do 5 on each side for the Bulgarian split squat. What a Bulgarian split squat is, and you can do it with a dumbbell too, or no weight at all, is you want to really be focusing on kind of pushing forward, making sure that you're getting that engagement directly to your butt and your quads. So that's the first round. Then I increase my weight, and you can see this progression again from a different angle. So 3 cleans, wriggle to your shoulder, 3, now 2 above my head. This is called a jerk. You'll notice that my feet are not moving, and that's because the weight is not so heavy yet. Here's my 5 kickbacks. My legs are all over. Try to be less like jelly than me, if possible. You can still get the effects, even if they're jelly like me. You just might have some back or knee, a little bit of strain. I'm also wearing lifters, which sometimes makes those type of balance movement a little bit more difficult versus, and those are the shoes that I'm wearing, versus having more flat foot, or if you're using tennis shoes. Here are my 5 Bulgarian split squats, 5 on each side, and kind of the thought process behind this workout is making sure there's some sort of weightlifting, and then something that's more calisthenics, something that's brings your heart rate down so that you can really focus intently on the main part of the workout, which is the lift. Next round, again, I increased the weight every time. You can remain at the same weight. For me, I'm trying to get back to the lifting that I was at before I broke my pinky. As you can see here, my feet are jumping out a little bit more as I do the clean. Then you do your 5 leg lifts. You can always, increase every time, or you can stay to the same weight. Trying to challenge yourself by increasing the weight makes your body react in a way that forces engagement, and that's really the goal. What's fun is I'm finding that this type of training is really helping in my adventures. By my adventures, I mean dancing, being able to stay out all night, and being able to recover the next day. That's kind of what this training does for me. And by recording myself and then looking back, I can see that already, even in this workout, my balance is kind of improving, and I'm a little bit more focused on the workout. Next round. I don't know why I have a hat now. I got up to 40 kilos, or 88 pounds. On that one, I was a little bit too far forward. I'm really working on making sure I sit back on my heels for that movement, clean. I got up to 40 kilos, or 88 pounds. Before I broke my pinky, I was lifting a weight of 105 above my head, so not too far off. Here are the 5 leg back. For this, you want to make sure that the dumbbell or the weight, if you use one, is in a position to provide that counterbalance so that you can have a more stable range of motion. All of these movements too, one of the things I'm thinking about when I do them is moving around the weight, moving around the barbell. This has had fun effects when I'm dancing. I'm able to drop it pretty low as a result of this training. Back to the 5 Bulgarian split squats. And for this, you can also kind of lean forward if you want to engage different parts of your leg. I really like this movement. You can use a dumbbell, but I preferred to use the kettlebell because I wanted to provide the counterweight. And next round, then another 3 clean. I start at my hips, and this is because you can start from the ground, but for this type of movement, I wanted to make sure that I was engaging my core and focusing more on lifting above. Clean and jerk is what that movement's called. Back to the leg kickbacks. I found that squats right now are a little bit more challenging, so this was intended to both provide some stretching for those muscle groups, but also intended to still work the muscle groups. And like I said, working them independently is really important as well. Bulgarian split squats. In the beginning of the workout, I was leaning a little bit more forward, and here I'm a little bit more vertical. And what I would recommend is just kind of playing around. You can see my knee is not going over my toe, but it is tracking with my toe. The toe that's on the incline is also firmly planted. Now, I believe this is the last round, or close to the last round, maybe eighth round. Like I said, I did 10 rounds of this, and I increased by 2 kilos every round. I typically will do some sort of combination of 10 rounds of something, 10 rounds of 10. That's a easy way for me to keep track. I keep a pencil and notebook next to me. Once I broke my pinky and stopped doing CrossFit and switched to powerlifting, I found a lot of improvement in some of the issues I was having previously. And being able to take the time and research and learn, keep balance, has had pretty profound effects both on my mental health and my training for adventure. 5 Bulgarian split squats on each side. If I was to do this workout again, I probably would use a dumbbell and rest it on the side or hold it on the side that is doing the work. And that's the leg that is up, or that's the leg that is planted firmly. Put the dumbbell on that side. So, this is the workout, and so this is the last round. So, this is the 10th round, and I believe this is the 40 pounds. You can see you want to take a breath in between, but going kind of, one right after another without dropping it, that's called cycling the barbell. And that's something you do want to make sure for this workout is you want to keep that 3 and then 2 without dropping the barbell or dropping the dumbbell, because that will also kind of ensure that your grip strength is increasing, and that's an important component of this all. Every muscle should be engaged. Your mind should be aware of all the little parts of your body that are working together. Being able to feel, being able to guide, being able to know what to do in certain situations, that comes from training, that comes from experience. And what I think I'm trying to do is almost expedite, increase through amplifying or doubling my experience. Not only did I work out my body by doing this workout, but now I've conceptualized and educated myself on my body and how I'm progressing. Never mind, this is the last round. So, this is the 10th. So, 3, or this is maybe not the last, maybe I didn't film my last. But you can see it's getting heavy. That last one I kind of really I caught it versus dropped under. Yeah, this is the struggle. I wanted to show you the struggle because that's a part of this. Knowing that it's hard, knowing that it's difficult, it's challenging, but also that you can do it. I will probably do a similar type of workout in a week, but I will start at a heavier weight. And I'll keep maybe the same rep scheme, but trying to get back to my 105 jerk above my head. That's my goal. That's my balance. But now I'm also going to be thinking about creating a workout that is focused on that balance, that ensures that I don't hurt myself, that I have the ability to respond, to correct if I need to. So, last set of the Bulgarian split squats, and thank you for watching and listening.